Hello everyone, this is the Universim. What would you do with the power? And it is alpha version 0.0.11, codename Hudson. 0.0.10 was something with zombies, or zombies not included, something like that, and this time we have codename Hudson. And it's a new version that came out today on Steam, released for all the backers and people with access to the game. And the new things in this, well, we jump straight into a new life. Is that they introduced fishing. So your nuggets can now fish, and they did an overhaul on the way water works on the planetary surface. So before you would have dedicated sweet water sources, and you would have these seas, which were saltwater sources, and now they have them combined together that they remove the artificial or separate sweet water sources, and now everything can be basically you can build pumps right at not a lake but the sea, or a smaller sea which would be a lake, but it's all one thing now. So they procedurally generate the sea on the planetary surface, and then they procedurally generate the places where you can put a water pump, for example, on that sea. Before, and you can see that in the video linked up here, before you would be able to only build a water pump at a sweet water source, which looked very different from the remaining water sources on the planetary surface. Welcome creators. Play with tutorials? No. If you want to see the tutorial, I'll recommend you watching the first recording I did a couple of while back, linked up here in the card. This is version 0.11, which is the second version I'm doing a video of, and from the first one we remember that we need a good source of building materials and water, and with building materials I mean rocks, in the vicinity of our starting camp. And we have plenty of rocks here, we have some food over there, so oops, this looks like the location. We have some water here, and then we're gonna test the new fishing system straight away, so we'll see how that plays out. Confirm our current location here, and then there are our first two nuggets. And that's Ubako and Latobo, and they start by chopping some wood, and then we'll see where we will find the fisher hut. There's an eatery, cemetery, constructor's hut, hospital, and a well. There's groundwater now, and the groundwater has water pressure. There's a water pump. It looks like your old water pump. A water reservoir. There's the fisher pier. We do have the farm, and now they introduced the fisher pier. And the fisher pier says your civilization has figured out that they can consume most of the life forms without too many deadly repercussions. This thought process had now led them to the water's edge, where they have discovered what will one day become known as fishing. Let's hope they don't stink up the whole village. And let's build a fishing hut straight away. And from my understanding, you have to build them close to this water, or to any water for that matter. And this is a procedurally generated lake or sea, and you don't see any of those sweet water sources anymore that you had in the version before, so they're not separate entities anymore. And we're going to be building it right here, which is closer to our city center, and we still have that bush over here for some food. And we'll see, we'll let them build that one. And from my understanding, we have to build an eatery as well, so that they can take the raw meat from the fish and consume it there as a cooked variant. So while they're building the fisher hut, we're also going to be building a well. And you can see it shows that we are having a water pressure of 15, 16, 14, 13, 0. So when it gets over here into the desert, there's like literally no groundwater. 3, and according to the patch notes, 15 is a default, and everything above 15 is extra, and everything below is lower, of course. So we're gonna go for, there's 16 right here. So we're gonna be building our well right here to ensure that our nuggets have enough water supply. And we're not gonna prioritize it. The one thing that I have to figure out, I guess, is whether they need pump building to be operational. Alright, so we still need to have a water pump for that well to be provided with water, and our water pump is right here. So we have to have a water pump together with the well. So let's build that pump right next to it, I guess, for the smallest amount of traffic or way between the two. So we're gonna is this our fishing hut in progress right here? I can't select it for some reason. This might be a bug. No, there's a fisher pier. We're gonna prioritize this guy. And we have 2 constructors going on right now, which are only 2 nuggets. And then I guess once this set of buildings is done, we have a water supply, we have a well that can drink. We would probably want to build an eatery next. So let's see and wait for them to build up the construction that we already placed. Sorry folks for being late a bit. You complained in the chat already. I had a bit of a family issue, I guess, that I had to take care of first, so take my excuse for that. Thanks for tuning in though. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to not miss out on the next patch that I'm going to be covering for the Universim or any other video that I'm going to be publishing. And also, if you like the Universim and would like me to cover more of this game, then please give this video a thumbs up. If you don't, the dislike button is right next to the thumbs up, and also please leave a comment in below if you think I could improve on something. I always like the criticism or constructive criticism for that matter. Alright, so we do have a fisher hut right here in the woods, and it says fish population is 3,600, and now we need to assign a fisherman. We do have 4 nuggets, and they all seem very busy right now. They're all the same age. I don't really know if any of these things should be a criteria for something, but you don't need to be really strong to fish. So let's make our very first nugget fisherman. How do I assign Tobo as a fisherman? I can't drag it over. Be patient. Oh, there we go. I had to click the name, not the face. Alright, so Latobo is now our fisherman. Upgrades are coming soon, or demolish. We don't want to demolish it. And the one thing we have left to do from the last episode is a engineer's hut to keep our buildings in shape and make sure they don't collapse. Someone's over here already having hunger. I hope we have enough berries until the eatery is ready. They're still building on the water pump right here. The well is already ready. Spring forest, that's what I told you about, the groundwater level 16, so everything above 15 is above average. 15 is exactly average, and then in desert areas you'll find no groundwater. So that's new. Water pump is fully operational, so we don't need to assign a nugget to the water pump. That carries over automatically, and we also don't need to assign a nugget to the well that just walk up there whenever they feel thirsty. There is a supply of 8 buckets of water around the well, so this circle fills up slowly, and it fills faster the higher the spring force is. So now the first the first 1/8 of this circle is completed, so we see we have 1 bucket available for our nuggets to consume. And let's go ahead and build an eatery so that my nuggets have a place to sit and eat. The well also acts a bit as a buffer for the water. We don't need a reservoir right away. Okay, so let's build the eatery right here so that that's close to the fishing hut, and then also close to the water supply. We have not seen our fishermen fish yet. I mean, it's night. Gutting. Okay. Maybe there's no raw food. We have 0 fish. Let's check back in the morning and see. There's some mating going on here. If we can see the fishermen catch some fish. I did not cover any of the god powers in the first video, and I'll probably not cover any of that in this video either, because nothing really changed in terms of the god powers yet, but at least in relation to the version before. So let's see. People are getting hungry. Oh, and we also have to build, next to the engineering hut, we have to build a witch doctor or a witch hut, because last time one of our farmers got sick, broke a leg, and we didn't have anyone to take care of, so we want to do a witch hut as well. Constructor's hut, cemetery. Okay, so the engineering hut has been renamed to constructor's hut, or I just remember it wrong. Hospital. The hospital has been renamed, the witch hut has been renamed to hospital, or I remember it wrong. It's a witch doctor. So let's have them build the eatery, and then we want to build a hospital. We don't need the hospital very close to the city center because we don't hope to have them sick most of the time, so we can build it a little bit further out over here, so that when they get sick they still have to walk a bit, but they're not dying. Let's hope. Let's make sure we prioritize this building supporters. We do have some porters, and we have no constructors. Oh, so I guess the construction hut makes sure that we have dedicated constructors once we assign some, but people will randomly go and build buildings whenever they basically have a construction site around wherever they are. In addition to leaving comments, you can always talk to me in the live chat. I have it on here on a second screen, so I'll see what's going on. And feel free to leave a comment or any remark for that matter, and that's giving you another option to get in touch with me. Alright, so let's see some sparklings going on here. It's people chopping at the rocks. Some mining going on here. Adahe, Dahi, whatever, probably butchered the pronunciation. And Latobo, so thirsty. So Latobo is thirsty for some reason. He's fishing. The building is quite a bit back. The boat is like on the dry. So maybe we should build another fisherman hut once these two buildings are completed. Stone hut. So that's a house that they built. I mean, these two buildings are completed probably. So our eatery looks about done. Minimal construction seems to be needed here, and then we do have plenty of water available at the well, but for some reason Latobo seems to be thirsty as hell. Right here, thirst. So I don't know why she just doesn't go and drink some. I might have to deconstruct this fisherman's hut and rebuild it, or it's a bug that makes it not work correctly right now. Maybe the water pump that's right next to it's just bugging it out. It's awfully pale. They need something to eat soon. Important. Okay. So our eatery doesn't have food, and I was hoping that our fisherman hut would provide enough food, but it doesn't seem like it. So let's go ahead and try and construct a second fisher pier further up. So from the looks of it, it is right at the water's edge. But then that was the case for this one as well, and yet it's like it's a lot further back. So she's hungry and thirsty at the same time now. Traction and basic interaction. She seems not very happy at her job. Maybe we should assign someone else so she can go and do something about. Yeah, so she's gonna go eat something. Then let's assign Ubaku. Maybe Ubaku is a more skillful fisher. She definitely has to go to go get something to eat from our berry stash over here. Then happening. Alright, so she's eating. Then I hope she'll find the well where we have enough water for her to drink. And I think this is glitched out. The boat's not in the water. Fish population changed. But there's no fish or raw food in this fishing hut or fisher pier. So I don't know. He's not carrying anything from the looks of it. Could be that it is still glitchy in this version. Again, the fishing pier was just introduced in this version and maybe it's not working correctly, so we'll have to see. I might as well just tear this building down and maybe we'll get some resources back. Demolish. Alright, so he's gonna go about and go. Oh, he's just starting mining some. Fisher pier collapsed. Alright. Guess that's that. Let's see. Prioritize. We don't have any supporters. So we'll have to see when our nuggets get there. And this is hopefully. Yeah, there's plenty of berries around and melon over here. Food. And water. So we should be good on that end. Oh, I guess they're still trying to build over here. Okay, so let's have them maybe finish the... I guess it's because it's taking like a whole lot of resources. They didn't have that. Now they start constructing the hospital. Takes an awful lot of time to gather all these resources, I guess. Stream's looking good. Chat's looking good. Alright, so they have all the resources they need for the hospital, and I hope they're going to be doing the other fisher hut next so that we can start gathering some food. If that's not turning out right, then I will just consider it still bugged. And we might want to construct a farm. Also, the lakes can have different levels, so the water level can go, it can like sink and can rise basically. So hospital is complete. Let's see if we can zoom in from the looks of it, is really, really nice. And we're in autumn right now, so we might want to construct a farm in the winter so that we can start seeding some food in the early spring. There's no herbs. That's a sign of witch doctor. She didn't have much luck with the fishings, but maybe Elu is doing a better job at witching. Witch doctor, and we have 4 healing spots. And the witch doctor needs water. Oh, and the new in this version also is that buildings that require water, where we don't have enough for it to sustain, the building will, so we have a water output of 8 and we have a consumption of 3, which nets us 5. No, epicenter needs 5, so we have a remaining of 3 available before we need to build the next pump. So if you don't supply enough water to your epicenter or to buildings, the building will not actually shut down. So that's kind of like like in SimCity when you had to give like basically power lines to your buildings early and then a water line afterwards, or water supply. Only that in the Stone Age, obviously, there is no power. Right, so there's some construction going on. We need lots of rocks and some wood for the fishing pier. Quite a bit on the resources there. New stone hut that they build right here, and have like some like mammoth tusk there. We do have enough water, that's for sure. The well is open full, like all the buckets there. Nugget buckets are available for consumption. Then this guy, we going after herbs, so maybe we find Elu. There's Elu. Elu is going for some herbs. Let's see if she'll find some. There's melon, counts for 1 food or 3 herbs. There's blueberries here. So it's quite cold outside right now. Let's see, she's gathering herbs. Herbs growing. Alright, so she took the 3 herbs from the blueberry bush, and they're growing back from the looks of it. Now she's going back to the hospital, or witch hut, for that matter. And maybe we can get the construction on the fisherman's hut on the second one going. Alright, so we do have an herb supply now. I guess she's she's manufacturing medicine now, so she has to gather the herbs, and then you'll see by the purple smoke right here, she's now cooking that up into a... Oops, what was that? Oh, so these are the different wheels that you can help her, that you can use your god powers for. But really the herbs need to be cooked into medicine first before you can start treating up people, I guess. So she's halfway through the first medicine preparation, and over here we have a rain cloud coming in. Our fisherman hut, I could use some construction. Does it look resource-wise? We'll still need of rocks. Alright, so are you? Yeah, so someone over here is gathering some rocks that we would desperately need for... I guess the 2 of them are gathering some rocks that we need for the construction of the fisherman hut. And then let's hope that works, actually. I will be giving up on my nuggets if that's still buggy, and maybe restart a new life. Maybe we had a bad seed on this planet, and we'll just have to start over, I guess. It looked quite funny that the boat was on the dry, where it might need to be on the water itself for it to work. Alright, so we have all the materials going. We actually have more than we need, or do we? No, we're missing out on 2 rocks, is that it? Guess that's it. We're missing out on 2 rocks. The game's not crashing, that's good. The last version I had was throwing my computer for a hard reset. Alright, so this boat looks definitely on the water. Let's assign a... The fish population is going down though. Let's assign, there's our doctor. Oh, we don't have a cook. Alright, so let's see, age. Someone of our middle-aged people. Whoop. Baco is now our fisherman. And then we do need to assign a cook, that's right. Let's make Adahi a cook and make Kabambu a cook. So that they don't have any prepared food, but they do have water. So I guess from the raw food in the water they prepare dishes. Let's hope he's doing a better job at fishing. Actually going out there, yes, so that worked. Don't know what happened to the first fisher hut there. Totally glitched out. And then this dude right here is fishing now. Let's see what the fisher hut says. The fishing is not in progress. Is in progress? I don't know, it doesn't count up. Gutting. Oh, guttering? Guttering. Oh, I guess they have to... Oh, he's fishing on a frozen lake. So I guess he has to take the fish he carries or catches back to the fisher hut. Although the lake is frozen, he still seems to be going strong in the fishing department here. Well, the lake wasn't that frozen, it's already open again. But that might make it into a future patch where fishermen might not be able to fish in a cold climate that well because the lake's frozen all the time. So you definitely want to have multiple food sources. And we have plenty of wood available, but not that many stones. So I'm thinking maybe of placing a... There's lots of rocks around here, but it's also freezing cold up there. So I'm thinking of maybe... Oh, it's winter time, so that's why there's snow everywhere. Maybe placing another fisher hut, just because this is the patch where fishing was introduced. And maybe have another source of raw food. There's no lakes on these sides. There's some mountains over here. Not really another lake inside. It's all the way over here. There's one. Don't think it makes much sense to have... I don't want to overfish this little bit of water that we have here, so... Let's see how far we get. So the boat made it back into the dock, basically, and then there's all the fish here to dry. We're preparing to be gutted. So he has 6 fish drinking, alright. Or we're not. Oh, he's all the way over here in the eatery. Maybe he delivered some of that fish already. Oh yeah, so there's a raw food. There's raw food here, and that might have been our first fish. It's now getting prepared at the eatery, so he's back on fishing. Let's see what our cooks are doing. They're mating and going after food, of course. Alright, so I don't think that was our fish over there, so he still has to gut it. Lake's frozen again. Always do the middlemost button when I want to rotate the camera. So now he's hungry. Alright, I guess fishing makes thirsty and hungry. So the next time he gets over here, he hopefully has some fish with him. Let's see. Renan408 in the chat says, I love this game. If you think about it, it's not really a game yet, and you love it already. It's really more like the very, very, very beginning of a game. If you look at the version number, it has 0.0.11, so they're not really that far in before version 1.0. And you can't really do very much if you look at all the buildings here. They're still not available, like the whole lot. But I get what you're saying. It's for me, it's very interesting to follow this game because not only do I like these type of games, but also I do like the fact that this is I'm following this since the very beginning on Kickstarter, so it's quite an experience to see like how a game changes over time. So with the addition of the fisherman hut, for example, in this scenario, and what you already can do and what's working, what they tweak on, the changes they do in general, the new additions. So in a way, it's a bit like an episodical, whereas the first episodes are very, very rough because the game could be crashing. You saw the fisherman hut was already bugging out, so they have to do a bit of polish over there. And then you have to accept the fact that it's not really a game that's ready to play. So you have to know that there are glitches, that there are bugs, that there are things that are missing, that are coming later. So you should not take... Why is he walking so fun? I guess he's hungry and that's why he's dancing that way. So as I just said, he might be glitched out, so this behavior looks a bit erratic. So there's obviously we have no dishes ready over here, even though we have 2 cooks. Lots of room for improvements still. So well, this guy's wobbling over here into the eatery, hopefully getting something to eat. What is he doing? He's like super hungry. Oh, he's mating? Okay. Oh. Guess he glitched out. Now he's back to walking normal again. In the version that we played in the video before, they were constructing a lot more huts. So this is only the second hut, stone hut that they create besides the... No, this is the center. So this is the second stone hut that they create, and we're already what, 20 minutes, 15 minutes into the video, and they still have only 2 huts created. In the video we played before, 20 minutes into the video, we had 4 or 5 huts. So that was a bit different, and I'm not yet sure really what makes them build huts and what makes them not build huts or not want to build huts. So it seems like we've caught some fish, and we can't really do much with the lake while it's frozen. It doesn't seem frozen right now where we're going into spring. And we missed our chance to build... He's gutting. He has raw food available right here. And he's hungry again. So I guess fishing makes like super hungry. So we want to try and find a place for a farm, because that's where we stopped our last video. We want to find some fertile ground. Let's see. Farm. And we don't have this overlay anymore. In the version that we played last, they had an overlay that radiated out from the epicenter that showed a red, green, and yellow outline the further away you got from the epicenter. So let's see, we don't want to build the farm all the way into where we have bushes, because that would be a food source that replenishes itself over time. Still, the farms are pretty big buildings, so I'd rather sacrifice some trees in the near vicinity for the place that I need. Kutambu's stomach is growling. Yeah, well, go eat something. There's lots of bushes around where you can just go grab something to eat. So he has 2 fish and 3 raw food, and as soon as the raw food... Oh, there we go. This little dude right here took the raw food and is taking it over to the eatery for preparing dishes, bringing food. So these are our first raw food units from fish that get into the eatery. And then our 2 cooks can prepare meals, tasty meals for our little nuggets. We have 4 raw food out of a total of 30, and then he took just 1 for cooking straight away. Alright, so let's hope our food supply gets up while he's going out to fish some more. There's like 2 more prepared food. And then our well is not running dry anytime soon, so that should be plenty. Yeah, so the farm is gonna be next. And then after the farm, so we're gonna be prioritizing the farm, but then the building after that is gonna be the constructor's hut. Just because we want to make sure all the buildings that we build are in good shape and don't break down, and so we're going to be building this a little bit closer to all the buildings. Right here is a good spot. So we definitely want to prioritize this farm, but then once we have a constructor's hut, I guess we can assign dedicated constructors that walk around and just take care of buildings that need to be built and buildings that need to be repaired. Let's see, 99%. Yeah, so our buildings are in very good shape. They're not run down at all. There's no wear and tear on them whatsoever. Let's watch the dude fishing a bit more. So he has his boat full of fish there. Alright, so there he's going more gutting more fish. Let's see how our construction is going. Food supply is still questionable. No dishes ready, no raw food. I guess we're currently in big need some more food, so there couldn't be a better time for our farm to get ready. We still need lots of rocks. So let's get some rocks over there, guys. Does have more fish, so let's turn off automating just because I can't really sustain more nuggets at this point until the farm gets built, I guess. So right now they're just chopping down the trees which are in the way of building the farm. So from the looks of it, we need 25 rocks and we have 0, but then we need 20 wood and we have 24, so we have more. We have a total of 95 and we need 20, but we have 24 here, so in a way we have more wood at this construction site than we need. Is that good? I don't know, but they definitely don't have any rocks. That's why the construction doesn't start. So there's lots of rocks around here. I hope once the guys cleared the site from all the trees, we will have them gather some rocks to build it. Some folks talking Russian in the channel. Sorry, I don't understand any Russian. So you have to type English or German if you want to. I might be able to read that too. Or some French limited or Spanish, but no, definitely no Russian. Comida. Yeah, so just to iterate over what I said in the beginning, this version, they introduced the fishing hut that's over here in the very first fishing hut you see at the beginning of the video. Totally glitched out, where they're just sitting on the dry and the boat wouldn't go out and nobody would fish ever, and they would just get hungry and thirsty and then wouldn't get out of the boat until they fished some before they would start eating and drinking something, so they would just die, I guess. And then we decided to tear down that fishing hut to build a new one that's definitely working better because it's now actually gathering fish. But then again, we have more nuggets now than we can sustain. We do have 2 dishes ready. That's why we build a farm to supply our nuggets with more food. And then the well over here has way more water available right now than we need, so they could get water from the well or from the eatery. There's water cups over here as well. So our water supply is in good shape. We do need food, however, so that's why we're going to be constructing a farm in addition to... we're going to be building a farm in addition to our fisher hut that we already have. And this is our farm that's right next to these rock formation over here. And then we also do have a witch doctor right here taking care of our sick and making them feel good again, just because last video we had someone break a leg and then didn't have a hospital around, so we made sure to take care of that. And we also didn't have a constructor hut in the last video, so we built one of those as well. No, this is a stone hut. This is the constructor's hut right here, so that we can hopefully assign constructors that will take care of our building maintenance. So we want to build our patches, and then we want to assign farmers. So let's make Latobo, Lamabo, and none of the people that are building right now. Let's make these 3 dudes farmers and have them build these patches of land. And then hopefully we can get something growing before winter comes, just so we have some more food ready for the eatery to be cooked into some meals. So again, we ran out of rocks. Let's go gather some rocks. There's plenty of materials around. There's plenty more than we had on our last planet, that's for sure. So fish seems to be going, and then there's someone carrying the fish all the way over here to the eatery. We might next time we build a planet, we might want to try and see if we can't build the eatery closer to the fisher hut, closer to the farm. And I'm thinking of starting with the farm first and then augmenting the food supply with a fishery, with a fisherman hut afterwards. Because relying on the fisherman hut or the fisher pier as your first source of food doesn't really pan out, because the population of nuggets is just growing too fast. It's way too fast for it to be sustainable. So yeah, alright, so they're building, preparing plots. So they're building these plots, farming plots. It's quite hot right now, 31 degrees. So that's perfect weather to start actually growing some plants. I know we're a little bit late to that game because we missed out on building, we missed out on the chance of building our farm in the winter and then having it ready for spring season to seed or plots, but hey, what can you do? I guess they have to deal with it. And then there's lots of people thirsty and hungry right now. More hungry than thirsty, really. We should have more than enough water for to go and fetch something to drink, but then again they also want to construct this hut at the same time. Oh man. Well, if you guys don't get any rocks, then there's no... Right, so let's see. Can we place one stone? None of these are working yet. They're all coming soon. Basic object interaction, construction influence. Okay. Conceive. Okay. Nothing of this gives us food yet, so god power is not really helpful right now. But they're almost done with the farming plots. Summer's also fallen over, so that we can actually go ahead and farm some more. I don't know. Well, the question came up in the chat when this game's going to be out, and I don't know at this point. Just judging by the versioning that they're putting out and the rough state that the game is in, I'm thinking they're at least a year out from release. If they're going at the pace that they're doing right now. If the funding if the crowdfunding is going great, then they might augment their developers team with more people and hurry up the process. But really, at the current time, I'm thinking for a sensible release, it's at least 1 year out still. All right, so let's choose. I think we chose Juicy Acorn last time, and then we built something that is appropriate for climate, but then grew a little longer, like Healthy Melina. And then we want to make sure, because it can get quite cold, we see -2 up until -16, so we'll have to see what the climate is over here. But we definitely want to do some variety in our food that we grow, so it doesn't spoil when the climate, when it doesn't adjust very well for the climate. And I don't know if this is another bug or glitch or whatever, but there's so much rock around, but still they're missing. There's the same people are still missing out on fetching stuff, like fetching rocks. So maybe we have too many farmers assigned. Is that an issue? Too many cooks assigned. I mean, we don't have any food anyways, so we can just remove this worker from the eatery and maybe have him help out with gathering some of the rocks. Yeah, so we do have 2 supporters now. Here, what are you doing? Gathering materials. That's exactly what we need. So he's gonna go, and then what? Oh yeah, he's picking up some rock. Nice, this is exactly what we need over here. So I guess we found the solution to this problem. We just have too many farmers busy over here, and then these dudes didn't have any materials, and instead of going out and fetching some more, they were just waiting for some other people to bring something. And we didn't get any new people because we stopped the mating process because I didn't want to overpopulate. Because we did have the food supply problems. So once this is done, we should have plenty more people available. We can go back to automating, I guess. Do that now. Alright, so we're missing one more rock, which we have plenty really available. Then I guess they can continue build this in their own time. Alright, so construction is ready. They're growing stuff over here. Dragon fruit is really for colder climate. Pandaren brain food really grows in any climate. It's really... Then blood diarrhea fruit? Right. That sounds delicious. Let's build some of that as well. Grow some of that as well, so that we have a nice variety going. And then juicy acorn is followed by, I don't know. Guess we'll just build some 80 out, then repeat. And the Pandaren brain plum followed by this, so that we'll build everything eventually. That is healthy Molina. This. Then this is the blood diarrhea fruit. We build some more juicy dragon egg. Repeat the process over. I'm thinking that this green bar over here gives me an indication of how well the current climate is suited for the fruit that we're trying to grow. So I'm guessing it's growing faster the greener this goes, or the closer it is to the center. I'm not really sure. So this circle is about to be filled in a minute and something, and then we will have some juicy acorns that we could send over to our eatery. How's our fishing hut doing? Oh, someone broke a leg. Dead. No, oh, she's actually dead. Oops. Well, I guess in such a case we need to build a graveyard. So let's do that. There's a graveyard in here somewhere. Eatery, construction hut, cemetery. When respected members of the community die, and then I guess we'll build this close to the corpse. Right. Let's do it in the current location right here, and then have one. We do have a constructor's hut, so let's assign one of the nuggets as a dedicated constructor and leave the other spot open. Focus on buildings. Let's keep it balanced. Then they're over here. We do have her as a supporter. Then we need more constructors. We did enable automating again so that we get a steady supply of people growing back after one of our people died without me knowing actually or noticing. And we have lots of medicine ready, so if something happened that she didn't make it over there. Did they die of thirst? There's lots of water available here, and there's lots of water in the well, so I'm not sure what this means. What's happening? Confusing. Again, this might be another bug. There's no more stone left for constructing stone hut. Okay. There is enough stone around, you just need to go and gather it. Like this little dude does. Alright, so new nuggets are incoming. Think panel. Seems to be galaxy map. Oh, okay, so they removed the button over here. In the last version they had two buttons over here. The galaxy map, which we didn't know what it was for because it didn't have a tooltip, and the evolution panel or tech tree, so to say, where you could have an outlook onto what you want to research. I think in the I think in the newsletter before the last one, so the current one actually, they announced the researching tower or something like that, or sacrifice tower, where nuggets would be able to go and pray to the gods or do whatever sacrifice things, and that would advance you in technology. And there would be different types of technology, like something that advances your into the different stages of the different ages, or something optional like technology. And they also announced that you wouldn't want to go necessarily to research everything that's available, just because it wouldn't take too long probably, and that things would balance each other out, where you would have to choose between either or, and you can't have both. But I'll cover that in a video once we get that patch. And again, make sure to subscribe to the channel. There's a link in the bottom right or down below where you can subscribe, and also give this video a thumbs up if you really like it. And make sure to not miss out on the next patch that I will be covering of the Universim. We're about an hour in, and our people are still starving. Our farm's going strong now, so just a winter too late. There's something, the climate just seems to be, there's something going on here. That's too hot or too cold. Adahi may or may not have died peacefully. Okay. Was Adahi some of our... No, Adahi wasn't any of our cooks. Was he our fisher? Oh, our fisher is Ubako. Who are you? Konumbo. So I have a second corpse on the planet somewhere already? There's one indicator right here. There's two indicators. No more stone left. Yes, please go and just gather some. There's so many rocks around. You just need to go grab it. What is this over here? Oh, okay. That's new. Alright, so what is this? This looks like dinosaur's egg or Easter egg. Fuck. So, okay. An alien or something? Okay, I can throw rocks on it. And it's not doing very much. If I annoy it, then it's just going nuts in it. This is an literal Easter egg. Let's annoy it some more. Alright. I wonder if they had zombies hidden somewhere as an Easter egg in the last patch. I didn't go look for it, to be honest. But that's nice. Alright, let's go back to our farm and see how our growing is. So we do have plenty of raw food available now. The farm's going really good. There's 16 raw food here, and that should be plenty to have a second cook assigned. Actually, there's some more mating going on here. So let's make sure... Nope, don't assign anyone. Nope, just go away, go away. So they are building the cemetery good. They should have more than enough materials. There's our eatery, so let's assign a second cook after you guys are done. Yeah. So let's keep building first, and then, because I don't want to pull them off constructing. Right, so cemetery is ready. We assign a grave digger. Let's make Zika the grave digger. Let's make... Oh, there's the second corpse. Found it. Create another cook. Assign another cook. To take care of all the dishes. Then I guess our witch doctor died. Make you another witch doctor. So we don't have a second constructor available yet because everyone already has a job, so let's see. Guess we'll need to wait. We also, yeah, guess we'll need to wait for more kids to be adulting in the adulthood. Someone's drinking something over here. That's great. Exactly what it is for. Then we should be... the grave digger doing? Is our grave digger? Idling. No water. So I know, yes, I told you guys that when buildings... Oh... See, when buildings are not supplied with enough water, they shut down. So that's what's happening. That is exactly what is happening. So we'll have to build a new water pump. Alright, so we don't need someone assigned to the cemetery if it's working, obviously, and then we don't need a cook if it's not cemetery is not working, obviously. But these people can go about and construct stuff, build stuff. Right, so we'll make you focus on building. That's the solution to the riddle why nothing's going forward. So this means that there is not enough water, and actually we can check that. You'll see water pumped to the reservoir. We output 8 nugget buckets, I guess is the term for it. And then we do require 12. So with a second pump, it should bump us up to 16 in terms of nugget bucket water supply. And yeah, so that should give us enough headroom for all the buildings that we've built right now. And I think that's really all the buildings we can build. Except for the water reservoir, which is just a buffer building between the pump and the well and the eatery. Then we do have a hospital this time, cemetery, constructor shed, eatery, yeah. So we do have all the buildings built. Once the second pump goes up, they should all have enough stuff to keep them going. And that should prevent our people from dying, really. And then I guess we'll keep watching. Let's accelerate it a bit, and we'll keep watching them until we figure out what they need next, I guess, and then end the video there. Let me take care of that real quick. Construction is still going. More people are getting sick. Let's watch this dude getting treated at the hospital. Came in being sick, occupation heal, status healing, so I guess that's good. We do have more than enough herbs and medicines available for people not to fall sick too much. Then we don't have any cooks there, so that's why. All right, so we should have enough water now. We do have 16 water generated, and we have 12.5 water. 12.5 water available, used. So let's assign some cooks and then have these cooks take care of the food. Only need one worker right now. That can be balanced, focused. There's nothing to be built right now, so really that worker can go. Yeah, our buildings are in good enough shape that we don't need too many people assigned to the hut right now. And then we do have enough raw food coming out of the farm, so that's really good. Farm really makes it easy for sustainable food supply, and fish also looks as sustainable, but it's more seasonal in the farm really. As far as the farm is concerned, I think about having if you do a mixed do a mixed rotation of really what you seed. You hit quite of a good average really. You can optimize that to adjust it to your climate obviously and time it so that it falls within the seasons really for maximum output. But you should be good by going for a higher or above average supply of food here really with the farm, which is pretty easy right now, which is good. Alright, so more and more huts getting built. We're an hour in and we have enough water now. We should have enough people now to assign every job. I think we're missing one farmer. Nope, we have 3 farmers. We have 2 constructors, 2 cooks. Fisher. There's still corpses around. Bringing the departed. So I guess he's already picking. We have 3 people dead already, so let's watch this dude bring in the departed. So what's happening with this dude? So he's just putting him down there. Just a little bit mourning happening. And then erecting a gravestone, I guess. Yep. That's exactly what's happening. Then he should be able to pick up 2 more, so... Oh, I guess he's hungry first, so... Let them have something to eat. Is he going for the raw food? That's exactly what it looks like. Alright, so he's going for the raw food even, like maybe he's a sushi lover or something. That he doesn't even go to the eatery or take any of the berries that are over here that are already pre-gathered. There's like growing herbs and food growing right here at the blueberries, so he prefers the raw fish over the blueberries that are available. And he's picking up the next departed. Yes, and then we should have 0 to 45, whatever that means. The age 31 to 56, or is that the number of days, so to say? We are at 69 current year. Oh, okay, so he was with us from the beginning till the age of 54, and then she died a lot earlier out of, like, I guess sickness, like after 25 years. Okay, so they're building more huts. We have 12 people now. Of our people, and I think this is as far as the game goes. Oh, we don't have a fisherman anymore. Our fisherman died. Aww. Because you have to keep up with the people dying left and right. But we should be out of the woods in terms of food supply, so that's a good thing. Let's have a look at the rest of the planet before we leave it. Find anything interesting. Just berries. And then I guess we'll end the video right here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't. The dislike button is right next to it. There's some more water. Leave a comment below the video if you want to see anything specifically or have a remark. Thanks for the people in the chat keeping me company while watching. I really appreciate that. And then I guess I'll see you next time when the next patch is around for the Universim.